Hello everybody, my name is Kumar and this is HauteLeMode, and today on HauteLeMode we're going to be talking about the fashion industry and how it correlates to plus size people. I got the idea to talk about this video because I read the Refinery29 article that said that 67% of women in the United States are size 14 or over, and that means that they are plus size. It also said that only 2% of fashion advertising was directed at plus size women here in the United States. And that's something that really struck me and I thought was really interesting and something that we should dissect. So let me just say, I am in no way skinny. I'm quite thick. I have a fat ass, big hips, massive thighs. So I don't think I'm size 14, but I definitely am not skinny or the, fashion trope or whatever. So don't come for me if you think I'm like a skinny little bitch, because I'm not, I promise. So when you're looking at advertising, and I currently study advertising at the Fashion Institute in New York, and the first thing that we're ever really taught is to make a fantasy for your consumer. And so I think that's currently why fashion advertising is the way it is that we have this fantasy of, oh, you want to be like a size 0 and you're super skinny and tall and beautiful and everybody can see your cheekbones and blah 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 blah. But the thing is, that's not really how here in America our lives are. I think for the most part we're all pretty big. Maybe not all, but a lot of us are kind of big. And so this image of skinny, skinny, skinny is always being pushed upon us, especially when you're looking at clothing. And you have to be this tiny person, and there isn't a lot of representation for big people, as you can tell. And so when I think about it, and when people bring up this discussion, I always say, well, I personally wouldn't want to look at somebody that looks like me. I want to look at somebody that's like a lot hotter than me, that makes me want to buy this product. And I think that's really smart because people look at those models and say, that's what I'm going to look like when I buy this dress. And for the most part, I'm pretty positive that's not how it happens. And so it's very hard, I think, for us to pull ourselves out of that consumer mindset and to step back and be like, whoa, we need to diversify this shit real quick and make sure that everybody knows what's gonna happen when you buy the clothes. And the thing is, I know a lot of brands, for the most part, big fashion industry brands, probably don't go above a size 12 unless you're special ordering. And that probably costs more money because you're using more fabric and all of these things. But I had a friend that was a designer at Lane Bryant, which here in the States is a really, really big plus size women's fashion brand. And he said that that was his favorite job as a designer that he had ever done because there was so much creative freedom because the customer would buy whatever you put out. And that's because there is not a lot of choice for plus size women, and that is said throughout all over the internet. I've seen it on BuzzFeed videos where plus size women say there's nothing for us to buy. So that is for the most part really true, and I think it's really tough for plus size women to be fashionable and to stay within the trends if their size is not included at stores all over. And so I feel like the fashion industry also is going through this really hot ass mess time. They don't have their shit together at all. They're scrambling. They're what the fuck, nobody's buying our shit. Why? Maybe if you diversify your sizes, you can open your market up to other people and they might actually pay for your shit. So let's think about it that way. So my original thought of well, I don't want to see anybody that looks like me, I want to see somebody that looks like what I want to look like. Maybe that's not really that great. The whole representative thing or representation here in TV and movies, that's a big movement here in the States to get representation for all different people. A lot of the time it works with LGBT people and people of color. Also, it should be working for people of different body shapes. It should not just be skinny ass motherfucking bitches in movies. There should be normal sized people. We should have that, and I think that's really important, and I think that is now putting itself into the fashion industry as well. Alongside things like LGBT people and people of color, now the fashion industry is also opening itself up to plus size people. We have to work a lot harder at it, but I think it's gonna happen. And then another point that I really wanted to talk about is there is this real extreme way that a woman should look in the fashion industry, and I think we all know it. And I think you're all just gonna say, oh, she has to be skinny and tall. And that's pretty much true. I do believe that. Not personally, but I've heard stories that models would get abortions to be skinny enough, or that stylists would be like, you're fat, you're not even going into the casting. And that happens a lot. But I also think we see a lot of very big women when it comes to plus size advertising. And I feel like we should diversify that plus size advertising to all women that are not just the size 2 stereotype that we're thinking. Because plus size people are not just like one look, the same way that fashion models should not just be one look. It should be size 4 and above should be what is considered, I guess, plus size. But I just feel like we shouldn't go from one extreme of really, really skinny to another extreme of really, really big, because I don't think either of those extremes are healthy for anyone. And I'm not shaming anybody that is either, because I know a lot of things come naturally. I personally know that being skinny or being really big is not something that I don't think that will ever happen to my body. I think it will just stay like in the middle. But I don't think either of those extremes are something that we should be like promoting as the only way. I think we should diversify our advertising to just include all body types all the time. So that is this video. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions on this because I love reading your guys' comments. I think you guys are so fucking smart, and I love hearing what you guys have to say. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to this channel if you like talking about fashion or social media fashion or any sort of fashion, because that's what I do. And again, you guys have been so fucking kind to me. Like, I've low-key glowed up on YouTube and I'm feeling like blessed as fuck. Thank you guys all for subscribing and watching and like being amazing and like commenting and like, you know, whatever. Even if I get hate comments, I'm always like, yes, like, thank you, bitch. Somebody called me a foot with a mohawk and I was like, bitch, you know. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for doing all of this for me. And to the new people, welcome. I hope you are enjoying your fucking stay. So again, I can't thank you all enough for watching these videos. And TTYL.